All right. What's up, man? Everybody, woman's, non-gender, whatever, binary.
Shut the fuck up.
Everybody.
It's the Odd Pod.
It's the Odd Pod with the three usual suspects in the building. Back at it again, like it never left. This time I'm a year older.
Yeah.
Wiser.
Yep. Happy birthday, Chris.
Appreciate
Yeah, happy late
that.
birthday, Chris.
Appreciate that, man. That's why I said I wanted them to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
I like hearing it for some
How
reason.
did you turn to 25?
Yeah.
Like 6 times in a row?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, man. Did y'all have something y'all wanted to start off with?
You, Romo? Eager Beaver?
I think he got something heavy, so I'm just gonna say what I was gonna say real quick.
Dang, you got something heavy. Dang.
No, not me, him.
Oh,
'Cause I feel like you usually do the history lessons, right?
Okay.
So me, I was just gonna say, I had a conversation with my coworker, and I don't know what kind of church she goes to, but she was telling me, and I had already learned this before too, that certain words in the English language sometimes have double meanings, and this may or may not be for a negative reason. Like for instance, when you say morning, right? Good morning to somebody in the morning or whatever. Morning is also, when spelled differently, it means when you're grieving. The week that we work, right? W, 2 E's and K. Well, when you work through the week, usually we become weak. W-E-A-K. Then we get to the weekend, where most people are weakened. You know what I mean? And all we can do is rest because we're already weakened and shit. Then the word earn, where you earn paper. It's also an urn where they, put the dead. And what's interesting is in Spanish, they don't say good morning. They don't say buenos mañanas. They say buenos días. Great day, good day. And it seems like it's only in English, so it's almost like it's a hypnosis that we're putting on each other. So my coworker, she'll say good day or great day. That's kind of hard for me to break a habit of saying good morning that I've been saying for 31 years. But at least I think it's better to say, like my sister said, she tries to at least say good morning instead of morning because of the connotation. And I do believe lately I've been, I feel like I've manifested small things, and I think words are very powerful as well as thoughts. And I wanted to say that because I've manifested like random things. Like I was talking about this cat that hadn't been in our backyard for a long time. We were talking about him. Boom, out of nowhere he appears. And a couple other situations. Nothing negative. But I really do believe in that now. I didn't used to.
I missed that last part. What? Nah.
Right, man. They caught it. But yeah, so I think we just gotta be careful with our words, man. But mainly, I guess it's not that important. I think more importantly is our intention. As long as your intention is well.
I think that's the main thing is when you say things, what's your intention behind it? I think you can take that and be able to tell the difference between somebody lying to you and somebody telling you the truth. And seeing what the intention in telling you information is. But also the intention behind the words of helping other people. Like a common good morning to other people could lead to that making their morning and making their day even better. They probably started their day off, low. They were seen too high, and then they see you're happy as can be, and just you telling them good morning or you saying good morning to me probably will perk me up enough to where, you know what, today ain't gonna be that bad.
Yes.
And it'll keep going from there.
And what that reminded me, because when I was talking about manifestation, like when somebody asks me how I'm doing, even if I'm not necessarily great, I'll say, oh, I'm great. Or I'll say, wonderful. Because even if I'm not necessarily that, I want to manifest that feeling. So if I put it out there, well, maybe. And then a lot of times it works.
You gotta watch what you say because your mind can hear you. You know what I'm saying? Your body hears you. You know what
because
I'm saying?
vibrations and words and the way the music has a power, it's the same as spoken language, bro.
If you wake up and you say, I feel like shit, fuck today already. Yeah, your brain hears that. Your mind, your body hears that.
You're gonna manifest that kind of situation.
But if you wake up and you say, alright, I don't feel too good right now, but we're gonna see what's up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what's up.
Let's hope it gets better.
Yeah. The body, like, all right.
I was even telling a homie about that. It's with vibrations and being able to tell the difference between other people having a good day and a bad day. You know, you can tell by just by the vibrations in the air. You can feel around
You
them.
feel the vibes, the frequency.
And I explained this to him on how one of these days at work I was having a really bad day. I was having a horrible day. But when he came over, all of a sudden that those bad vibrations, my frequency kind of just everything kind of settled back down, and I kind of refocused and finished what I was doing and finished out my day better. All because of him. Because of him coming over there and seeing if I was alright. He was like, bro, I came over here to make sure you were good. Like, you know, if you need help, what do you need, bro? I got you. Just by that, it just helped me level myself out, and I was able to finish out and have a better day throughout the day. And so I'm very thankful for what him coming over and
bringing that. It's like gave you a little zap of positive energy.
It did.
Zoop, and then you just like consumed it and turned that into your own positive energy.
And that's why I believe that when you come in with that same energy, you can give that to somebody else, and hopefully it'll brighten the day up.
I feel like since I work with children, so I'm a teacher assistant, some of these kids come from these homes, bro, where you can tell that their parents were fighting or something. They don't know how to talk about it. They're only 4 years old, but when you just give them positive reinforcement and shit, and since they're so little, I think they're like little tiny antennas, you know, so our frequency impacts them more. Like they feel it even more than necessarily adults feel each other, because we're kind of desensitized a little bit. So a lot of us, because you could say it's the third eye, it's so calcified, or you could say they're just not woke or whatever, but not everybody's great at picking up on vibes and frequencies. But I feel like the more you try to become at peace and and nobody's perfect, you know, everybody, I just had a little bit of road rage on the way over here, but, you know, just trying, though, makes a big difference, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
Hey, words from you, know?
Yeah. I co-sign what was said right there.
That's what's up. Yeah, and that same coworker, bro, it's weird. We have connections sometimes. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday. She was telling me about she read a book from the Apocrypha, and it was called Two Ezras. And I read that book years ago, and I read it thoroughly. And I showed it to my sister, my mom, my uncle, anybody who would listen. I was telling about that book, because that book was like, it was taken out of the original Bible, whatever. So most people haven't read it, but it's like Revelations, but clearer. And it's about a dude named Ezra, and it's before Christ, but he fasts for like months on end, and he speaks to an angel, and through the angel he's asking these questions about like, why do we suffer? Why do God's people keep getting pushed into the desert? Why are the other people more powerful when they worship all these other gods, and we worship you the way you tell us to, yet we suffer? And so he keeps, and the answers that keep coming are so deep, and I don't know if I could ever read that book enough. I need to read it again. It's been a while, but the reason she brought it to my attention is because it mentions Asia, and it mentions you know, the shit that Revelations kind of talks about, how certain changes have to happen on Earth in order for a new age, a new beginning. What some would say the fourth dimension, the next step. And I also want to say, like, there's a lot of shit going on right now, but I don't think people should worry as much. I think there's a lot of fear mongering coming from the media and shit. And I think there should be a certain amount of awareness and safety and carefulness, and don't travel if you don't have to, but at the same time, don't let that shit control you.
Yeah, but that fear mongering is how they get their ratings. You know, if people keep being told that something's wrong or something's going on, then they're gonna keep watching the news.
Exactly, they gonna keep checking in and shit.
Yeah, they'll be staying at home watching the news instead of being outdoors and enjoying life.
Getting that vitamin D from the sun.
And see, I try to live a life where I try to stay on the outside of that media bubble. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it or I'm even good at it, but I think I've gotten to the point where I'm able to observe what's going on for the most part from like eagle eye point of view, so to speak.
An outside perspective.
Yeah. And that's right now what I see, like you said, is like I see a lot of people worrying just because they're being told to, but really it's not that critical.
Right.
You know, you can actually you can breathe easy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
That's how I feel too.
but a lot of people are on edge just because they're being told to be on edge. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see. Panicking because you're being told to panic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's never good. I mean every year they come up with something, bro. Like Ebola, fucking SARS,
swine flu,
bird flu, mad cow disease, mad pig syndrome. Not I made that one up, but
Remember now?
the Nile, the West Nile. But supposedly I knew a kid who got it. But I mean he was fine. You know, he's sick. I think it's just like any other flu. And I think the people who are most are like the old, the weak, the HIV positive, the ones that don't have an immune. You know, and I think if anything, it should just make people want to be more healthy, eat more healthy, exercise. You know what I mean? I mean that's all you can really do.
You know.
And then just be as happy as you can be.
And going from that, like, whole fear mongering and how shit is, that I guess we'll slide into my topic. It's like, my topic is that I legit think that 95, if not more, percent of the anxiety that people have nowadays, I'm talking about worldwide too, is caused by social media. You know what I'm saying? And so think about this, what you got. If you got a bunch of people that are panicked, and then they all go posting on their social medias about how, oh man, shit is bad, everybody else just all of a sudden feels the need to like pile on top of that too. You know what I'm saying? So now what you got is a whole bunch of people panicking a whole bunch of other people. And then other people feeding into it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, it creates a big thing. But the main reason why I think that social media causes anxiety is because, you know, the anxiety that most people have nowadays is caused by like this I think this fear of being yourself, because because of how things are, of how whatever, just how things are. I feel like the trend is to just be like everybody else and to like the same shit as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And to just basically be like just everyone be like a little copy of each other, right? You know, and I feel like right now the anxiety that most people have is of not being accepted because they're not like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's and that to me was crazy. And I feel like social media only makes that worse because all you see is other people living quote unquote unhappy lives, doing cool things. You know what I'm saying? When the fact of the matter is, bro, like, yeah, but I mean, it's not just like that on social media, bro. That's the whole world. Everybody around you is going somewhere, doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, you know, don't feel like a piece of shit, which is what some people do. Some people see this and they feel like, oh, this person is doing this and I'm not doing something like that, so I'm not adequate. All social media makes you do is compare yourself, fam. And so everybody wants to be like this other person who posts pictures of them looking cool all the time, or going here, going there, or posting the funny shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's
most likes.
Yeah, it's like you use those likes for acceptance. You know, you use those hearts and those whatever you get on those social medias. You use them as a form of, oh, I'm accepted, bro. You're accepted without that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people need to realize, that like, yo, man, like, social media should not factor in anything about your life. You know what I'm saying? Social media just be a way to pass the time, fam. You know what I'm saying?
That's something that we have to get through to the youngsters.
Yeah.
Because we came from the time before social media.
They start killing themselves over this shit, man. You know?
Yeah, bro.
And I don't make fun of them at all, bro. Because you know what? I get it. When I was young and I first started getting on the AOL Messenger, the Yahoo Messenger, the MSN Messenger, the chat.
AOL.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
like
I remember those chats and, you know, those all of my and all that stuff. And I was subconscious too. I was always checking who was replying or checking my posts or whatever the shit. And I would always, if someone replied negatively, I was like, oh, I gotta reply right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, I understand how the anxiety, because I had that same anxiety, you know what I'm saying, that most of these people feel nowadays. I get it. Right. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you know, like, look away, fam. You know, there's a whole, you know, there's a whole world going on behind this. On
books, bro.
Yeah.
As much as I'm like antisocial, I still enjoy socializing. It's like it's almost like I gotta like no way you need to socialize some and you'll like when I go to work sometimes I'm like when I'm convinced myself you know what usually I end up having a good time. There's a couple cool people there that I'm gonna get to talk to and even just a couple laughs, bro. It's just like I feel like laughter is
that's what it takes, bro.
medicine.
That's what the thing. And if you decide to step out of that box and try to be yourself, you're gonna realize people aren't gonna dislike you. They're gonna start looking up to you, bro, and you'll realize that oh damn, most everybody is trapped in the same box. They're all afraid to be themselves. They're afraid to be individuals. You know
like
what I'm saying?
I visualize like this clear box around people, and sometimes they let there's little cracks and they let themselves seep out.
Yeah.
But I always felt like I thrived on being different to a fault. Like sometimes I'd be like, nah, I would not like stuff just because other people liked it.
Yeah.
Which is like a whole another extreme. You know what I mean?
That's a whole other thing. Right?
Yeah. And so it's all about balance, bro.
Yeah.
But I always felt because we came before the mumble rap. We came before social media blew up. Before this whole PC movement. Before a lot of shit, bro. So we got to see the last of it,
bro,
man.
like I'm starting to see like this. I'll go online on Tumblr and look at memes, right? And the funny ones, like hardcore funny ones. And like you'll go read the comments and like this is how the world is nowadays. It'll be a meme making fun of something or something, and it's funny as fuck. But you'll always see that PC person in the comments saying, that's not really how things are. It's like, bro, it's just a meme making like that. That's the thing. The whole world all of a sudden became everyone is concerned about everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From the climate controls to the animals to the bees to the fucking
guns.
to the
It's all black. It's like it's supposed to be black and white or blue and red, but really
it's like look, fam, and the young generation have to realize this. You got to choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing.
They're gonna burn out, bro.
Because you're gonna realize what we realize that like all these things that you get mad at, it actually all connects to one big thing. You know what I'm saying? And the one big thing, that's the thing. You can't fight it on your own. We gotta fight it together. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all hit that point, we're waiting for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we do gotta do this together eventually.
Yeah, we need the youngsters,
yeah,
bro.
all those issues they care about, we can knock them out. We gotta do it together.
And you know what? In a way, there's a lot of good. I do like how like Harvey Weinstein got going to jail. You know what I mean?
It seems like it.
It seems like it, and who knows what kind of jail it'll be. He'll probably get to drink his coffee.
I mean, look like he's about to
Do
die.
you think he'll mysteriously commit suicide in his cell?
There was
Yeah,
an
I think
article that
it's
said that they're gonna avoid that they're gonna put it high
Well,
security.
because if they did it again, it would be too obvious. Right?
Didn't they do that to Homeboy before, and then he got killed?
But they used to let him out, bro. They used to let him out. He would leave and come back, and that was some weird. He might not. He's probably in.
Maybe one time I got saying, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm saying something. Well, excuse me. I'm saying some names. All right. So you know what? Come tonight when they come visit me.
Because yeah, bro. I mean,
yeah.
it's just like how Kanye West might be like his new album's not. I don't like it, but maybe he's trying to save his soul.
I forgot we were recording.
Oh really?
Yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, but we can censor stuff out later if you want to. Nah, bro, I really do think like musicians and people sometimes they do get a change of heart, bro. Like Eminem and stuff. Like there's a point where he was like, man, I wish I wasn't even famous. You know what I mean? And,
Look, Lil Wayne.
yeah, bro.
Turn into a crackhead. You know what I'm saying?
Even the best of man, even DMX, they fucked with him, bro. Everybody, they.
Yeah. Like, look, if you tell someone, look at Wayne had. You know, he was the quote unquote best rapper alive. He was every song he touched on turned to fucking fire. You remember, bro? Like for a year and a half. Every song on the radio had a Wayne feature, and don't lie, it was fire.
No,
every
nigga,
time.
I hated it, bro. I was the dude who
whoa,
hated everything and everybody.
I can't lie. I knew many, so I can't.
And I even made, cause I rap, right?
Yeah,
I made
yeah,
a diss record
yeah.
towards the motherfucker, bro.
Hey, but
cause I was so mad, cause I was like, this motherfucker.
All right, but now looking back,
But now that I listen to it older, I'm
you
like,
realize
I respect.
Fire. Yeah,
yes.
you realize he was spitting fire
Yeah.
every fucking verse.
Yeah.
Okay, so think about it though. So going from the top of the world as far as like music, entertainment. But this is the result of it. Would you take it? You know, in other words, it's like that song, the song "Dance the Devil." You know, sometimes the dance of the devil might last you forever. You know what I'm saying,
Bro? Yeah, you.
Shout out to Immortal Technique.
Even comedians, bro. Like I saw an interview with Gabriel Iglesias, and there's family members that he don't even talk to no more. So you sacrifice something. to get big like that. And maybe those family members were toxic in the beginning. You never know. But nah, I wouldn't. I don't want to be that rich, bro.
Yeah, it's like, look, bro. It's like some people like ask me all the time, why don't you try and make more money? Why don't you try and go, this and that? I'm like, you know what? Because right now, if I were to die right now, and I were to look back and look at the time I spent, I would be happy because I'm happy that, yeah, even though I'm poor, I don't have much money, right? I spent time with my family, my friends, and I did the best to try and be good to them. And yeah, I might have not gone to work as much as I should. I didn't get a quote unquote a real job, but you know what? I'm down for that sacrifice because, well, to me, it's more worth. It's worth more being there for others than to go to work. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the step, but you know that you know what I'm saying.
Being spreading positivity is no small task, or it has a big impact. So I mean, yeah, bro. You know.
Is that what you call selling weed? But I'm chat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real though, man. That's real. I do think, and then it sucks that then
they what?
instead of saying, "Oh, go outside and play in the woods to fight your anxiety and depression," they say, "Oh, here's some pills.
Yeah.
Take this for your anxiety and depression."
Yeah,
and he just keep doing the same shit over and over.
It's like he pointed out to me, bro. A lot of these new rappers who are on this mumble rap and all that crazy drug rap, right? When you listen to their lyrics, these dudes are basically crying for help.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn.
It's like you dying and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Somebody just died recently, but he got robbed.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah. Had you heard of him before?
Nah.
But Pusha T, was like, Pusha T put out a song. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take it down in honor of Pop Smoke. I'll put it back out next week. You know what I'm saying? So he has some kind of respect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What would you want to talk about? Is it history time?
Is it
nah.
high history with Romo?
What do you want to keep talking about?
Nah.
Have you watched the Ottoman Empire show on Netflix? The whole thing? You already binge watched it?
Yeah, I watched the entire six or seven episodes that he played through.
That's all it has?
Yeah.
One season?
One season of it. I mean, it seems like they're gonna make a series out of it. Yeah. It looks like they're gonna try to go with the Aztecs and then other people. Yeah,
oh, okay, but it's separate.
Yeah, it's gonna be a separate.
They're not gonna be connected.
Season. No. But it seems like it took over the time of Mehmet II before he earned the name of Mehmet the Conqueror. He was a young emperor who was trying to kind of resemble Alexander the Great.
Another great conqueror in history.
And Mehmet, his ultimate goal in his life, what he saw when he was a child, was to take over and conquer what his father couldn't do, which was conquer Constantinople, which was the last remnant of the Eastern Roman Empire.
Or at that point, they call it the Byzantine Empire.
But in this show, they never call him the Byzantine Empire. They keep
that comes later, right?
No.
Or like they don't call themselves Byzantine.
It's not the Byzantines or the Romans. The Romans just changed their name. Yeah. They would always do that.
Yeah, they were known as the Byzantine Empire. But in this show they would never call them the Byzantines. They would always call them the Eastern Romans. They would never call them the Byzantine Empire. Even though the Byzantine Empire had almost an existence of about a good 300-400 years. They were around for a good while.
Right.
So
what year does this story take place around? Or what century? It's way after Rome. Or that's around... Cause I had that in my history class too, and I forgot.
I'm trying to pinpoint the date. But I can't...
500? Around 500, no? The year 500?
It was around either the 1352 or
so
1452.
After the Vikings?
You mean BC, right?
80.
This was...
Nah, bro.
700 years ago?
Nah.
1350... 13?
It might have been 1235.
Let's
I'll give you 12. I'll give you 12.
Like 1200?
But I don't think 13.
What was the name of the dude?
Well, they had to have been the time when they invented gunpowder.
Hop in.
And then they were starting the development of cannons.
Well, gunpowder's been around forever because of the Chinese.
Well, this is when they started using like massive cannons with it, and this is when the Mediterranean started getting a hold of it and started making more advances with it. They didn't have gun rifles, but they did have gunpowder cannons. So it might have been 1215.
Alright. Mehmet II was born March 30th, 1432. He died May 3rd, 1481. His second reign was from 1451 to 1481. So this son of a bitch is closer than we thought.
Yeah.
All right.
Bravo,
We should not doubt the high historian. Yeah.
High historian.
All right, go for it.
So yeah, he conquered Constantinople. He conquered most of the Balkans, in which, the show did a pretty good job depicting it.
They had like romance and stuff.
Nah, they didn't really.
No?
They didn't have any of that. I mean, they tried to, but it really.
You know, when
really
Hard
wasn't
was
about
the most recent Vikings episode was hard as fuck, bro. Hard as fuck. History's just fucking dope, nigga.
History is.
Might have to check that show out. Only 7 episodes ain't bad.
Nah, it was pretty good up until. I wanted to see how they played out in the last episode. They played it very right. It didn't show Mehmet destroying the entire city. It showed him conserving the city and kind of making it submit before trying to loot and pillage the entire city. He wanted to make Constantinople the new capital.
Yeah.
Although he did kind of embarrass Constantine. He kind of made him bow to him at the end. So it's kind of
on the finale. So how do you know that they're gonna start making it into the Aztecs and shit?
That's how they kind of started the show off. They started showing different like
the intro,
ancient cities and stuff like that. Like I saw Aztec warriors. You would also see like Americans. You also see different empires that grew out. Even the British.
I don't know why. I don't know why the British, the creation of England. Like I just finished reading a book called Sword of Kings, and it's from the series of the Last Kingdom with the Saxon tales, with the Vikings and the British and all that history, bro. It's pretty dope. I understand why you get into like all that.
Go deep into it. I'm still trying to finish up the Russian lectures I'm going through.
So y'all finished on Benjamin Franklin, right? Like
I did.
Yeah.
He finished.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You got a summarization or?
Oh man, I gotta go to my notes. I don't know if I got them.
You gave up on old Benji?
No, I've just been going deep into the Russian history. I've actually bought a few books on him.
He was basically bitching about the lecture. He ain't like the teacher.
I didn't.
Yeah, I remember you were discussing this.
We're not gonna go through this again. But we found a new historian that's starting to show us a new perspective in history about Herodotus and Socrates and all these other ancient historians. It's kind of like, yeah, the stories they tell may have been a little bit exaggerated or whatever, but the feeling toward in the whole and the tone of the whole stories that they tell, we're not so indifferent in what they're trying to say.
Right.
They may not have been there, but they might have known the tone in which, let's show as an example of Xerxes before he went and tried to conquer Greece. He could have stopped before he got to the peninsula. There was a point where they did stop for a second and they probably did think about should they have gone to go conquer Greece or just stayed where they were at. If they would have stayed where they were at, they might have been there longer than what would have been expected. But it's because Xerxes decided, no, I'm going to go ahead and go. It was the tone. I mean, he told a different way of telling the story of how he chose to go, but the tone in which it was, like that decision of choosing to go and choosing not to go, is what Herodotus is trying to tell us. And so this lecture is pretty good. He's trying to tell us that these ancient historians did try to tell us what was going on. Even though they kind of exaggerated a little bit, you can still kind of pick.
It's just like Hollywood. I mean, just like the shows we're watching. Like, they're telling us, but then just to make it a little more entertaining.
It's like Boardwalk Empire. This might not be what Al Capone and Luciano said, but this is what the people who this is what they assume they were thinking in this moment, right? How they would say it. You know what I mean? We're also watching another one called Great Trials throughout world history. And it's pretty good because it's taught by a teacher who teaches lawyers. So you get the whole thing from a lawyer's perspective. The lawyer's perspective is always about so and so said this, because lawyer is all about just solid facts. You know what I'm saying? Ain't, the hearsay is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Proven.
Yeah. I'm taking this to trial, taking it to trial, taking it to court, and he pretty much he outlines very well, bro. You know, and he doesn't, obviously he doesn't always say it so bluntly, but he puts it out there how some of these are pretty crooked ass trials. You know what I'm saying? How some of these judges really do just let certain people with connections go no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the one that sticks out in my mind is that Thomas Jefferson, when he was the president, he actually helped uncover a plot of this individual named Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr, the plot that he was coming up with was to try and take what, Romo?
Try to take the West.
He was trying to take Spain, right? Where the part where Spain owns, trying to take that, and he was gonna basically conquer that, take it over under, with a coup, online with certain other powers, right? But he was gonna take it over and make himself the president of that, and try to use his power to be the president of that new section of whatever it was.
Basically, he was trying to conquer the new lands of the West.
Yeah, and then he was
create a new country,
and
empire.
He was going to use that empire to go to war with what is then America. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, this is just a side note. If you look up a picture of this man, Aaron Burr, or Aaron Burr.
Aaron.
He looks evil as fuck. Like, just Google a picture of him. He looks evil as fuck.
Is he a redhead? Is he related to Bill Burr, the comedian?
Nah.
But this guy, we should have known this guy was evil.
So, he was trying to
take over America.
So that in order to take over America.
Yeah, he was trying to take over the entire West, take over what Spain had. And he come and invade America.
He cockeyed as a motherfucker, bro.
So anyhow,
is that what it is when his eyes like?
So anyhow,
he does look evil.
So anyhow, that dude was conspiring to do that. He was gonna try and take the West, and then use that whatever new empire that he took and come and fuck up America, right?
But
the word got to Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, obviously, he sent the cavalry after this man, stop this individual, I want him arrested. So he arrests him, he goes to trial, And Thomas Jefferson, so bad, wanted to send a message about what happens to people who do this. And by the way,
treason.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I don't have to say it. So most people would just assume this is treason. What you're doing, bro? Yeah. Thomas Jefferson, for the first time and the only time in history, stepped in. The executive branch stepped in and tried to check the judicial branch. He's the one that put him in trial, tried to read him but then the real lawyer came in. The real lawyer. And he was like, I don't think we can do this. You know what I'm saying? And Thomas Jefferson was like, what do you mean? Thomas Jefferson, you get it. From his perspective, he's trying to send a message, right, to anybody in this country trying to commit these same acts. Like, if you plot against America.
And you would think that he has the legal right to do so, to set an example that way.
But this lawyer just, because he was so quote unquote by the book, because he wasn't caught doing anything. He was only caught plotting it.
If they would have done that now, the Patriot Act, they would have locked his act up in Guantanamo Bay.
Conspiracy to commit treason is not treason, right. And that's what this whole thing was like. It was like, holy shit. So anyhow, the guy gets off scot free. He gets to go. And Thomas Jefferson was trying to try him in civil court. But then the guy just hightailed it. You know what I'm saying?
Brought him to the West.
Yeah. So the way that went, it's like, why couldn't this lawyer understand what this meant for the country? It makes you wonder, like, what the fuck was the deal here? You know what I'm saying? And that's what this course shows you, that some of these trials are pretty fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty obvious. Like, okay, there's other one that they were doing about the some Native Americans, right?
Dakota.
Dakota
Indians.
So a few Native Americans went rogue and massacred some white people, right?
Man.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, right? They did.
To give a definition of how these Indians did warfare, anybody was game. Anybody. It didn't mean just the men of the city. It could be men, old, women, children. It didn't matter.
Bro, but I mean, if you
everybody was a target.
They were parasites, bro, and those little children gonna grow up to be bigger parasites.
Anyhow, the couple of Native Americans went rogue and went and massacred some white dudes, right?
Let's not forget the backstory of the whole of the whole thing. Remember,
Like,
the
why they
Indians
did
made an agreement with the Illinois. What is it, Illinois or Ohio? Either way, they made an agreement with the governor of the state of Minnesota. That's what it was.
All right, let me tell you what happened in this trial, right? So anyhow, these group of Native Americans were enrolled, massacred some white people, a lot of white people, all right? And so white people get up in arms. We got to get these people. We got to kill the Native Americans on one main example. So they go break them up, and they go and then they go and they go string them up. But see, the thing that they didn't give a fuck about was like that like, you know. They tried to make it a bigger deal than anything that like, oh man, this is how they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man. You know what I mean?
The Americans are trying to say that the Native Americans is how they are.
You know that this is their like they're savages.
It's the same shit that they do now.
I mean,
they try to make the Muslims seem like
these
all
people that they
terrorists.
attacked, they did kind of pussyfoot on their payment to the
And
land.
you know what I just did in my head there? I fucked up the trials because the one I really want to talk about was the Amistad. Because look, here's the thing.
Amistad?
The Amistad has to do with some slaves that were. So here's what happened. The Amistad is the name of a boat, a ship, where these slaves were getting transferred from Cuba, right? But what happened is on the way over here, these slaves revolted. They revolted and they killed a lot of people on that boat, and they took the guy steering hostage, and they said, "Take us back to Africa." But
Cuba, no?
No, Africa.
Okay.
Because they're from Africa.
Okay.
But this motherfucker was so, knew that they didn't know what the fuck was going on. So by day he would steer one way going towards Africa, but then at night he would steer the other way going towards land. And he landed in America. I think it was in Massachusetts. Romo can Google.
So he did this on purpose?
Yeah. He's
Close to Manhattan.
Yeah, close to Manhattan. So New York, basically, I guess, right? So anyhow, here's the thing: the trial becomes about these slaves. What it was just illegal what they did. You know what I'm saying? They killed. It's mutiny. Blah 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 blah. So it took them a whole a lot of fucking sessions before someone finally was like, can we get to the point that these people were wrongly taken from their homeland and were about to be sold into slavery? How can you call this murder? How do you call this a mutiny?
They would have done the same shit.
It took them so.
So did they finally say that?
Yes, but bro,
they danced around.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was not even brought up that these people were being treated as fucking property. You know what I'm saying? It was like, no, that Cuba wants them back. It said that's their property. And you know what? We almost gave them back because our president at that time did not want to affect the relations with Spain because Cuba was a province of Spain.
Wasn't it Burr at this time? Because Burr was the president.
Aaron Burr?
Yeah, Aaron Burr was the president.
He became a president?
Oh man,
look
at this guy, man. Look Google this because this is the thing that you do sometimes. That is, yeah. Anyhow. That's what I mean. That sometimes these courts they ignore what's like I said they ignore what's just obvious rights. You know what I'm saying?
Vice president. But I think it was his son. It says Junior.
And anyhow, so anyhow, at this time, like I said, our president was about to let just allow these dudes to get these slaves who were illegally apprehended. He's about to let them go back to Cuba and obviously probably get killed or sold back into slavery again, all because he didn't want to damage the relations with Spain. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, it actually turned out pretty good. But it turned out good because they won their freedom, right? They won their freedom. They were able to go back to Africa.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But because of all the attention they got, it kind of did them bad in the end. You know what I'm saying? Because what should have been done is they should have been just sent back to Africa where they belong, where they wanted to go back to their homeland and be let free. But missionaries went with them. And these missionaries were going to quote unquote keep an eye on them, right? But these missionaries, they don't know how the world works. So when they got off the boat and started dancing with their people, they immediately engaged in debaucherous dance that they do. You know what I'm saying?
And they're naked.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the other course we're watching. Great Trials of World History.
It's pretty. I look forward to hearing more.
Yeah, for
next
sure.
time and shit.
For sure. You got anything else?
The fuck?
You got anything else?
Nah, I ain't got nothing else.
What are we looking at in time wise?
Alright.
Shit, motherfucker. Nah, just kidding.
39 minutes. Plus
Hey,
40.
I feel like it's been longer.
Yeah, y'all wanna? We got anything else?
You got anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm good.
You talking about your first time when you lost your virginity?
What the fuck?
Is that too
I
deep?
think we'll call it on
Is
that.
that?
I think you're getting too.
I think that's a
too wild
good.
with these questions.
You getting too personal, Chris.
I think that's a good, solid, chunky podcast right there. There's a lot of deep stuff in there. I think that was a good session.
Alright then.
That was what was it? Mind Warp.
Yeah.
Wait.
Turbo Mind Warp.
Turbo Mind Warp.
Alright.
Holla!
Later.
See y'all next time. Hear y'all next time. Peace.